Welcome in to Bobcat Live here on KFJB-TV, live from Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown. I'm Brandon Lewis. Great to have you tuned in for our final fall edition of Bobcat Live. Dylan Does alongside, as well as head coach Adam Goodman of your Marshalltown Bobcat football team, which ended the season 5-4 last Friday night with a win right here on KFJB-TV over the Des Moines North Polar Bears. Coach, it feels kind of weird this week. I feel like I should be doing a bunch of stuff, but I'm not. It's kind of setting in.
Yeah, it's weird for all of us.
Yeah.
You know, we're in such a routine there for so long, and throwing a bit off right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. 5-4, you got the win, 30-14 over Des Moines North last Friday night. What was that win like, and what was your message to your team after that game?
It was huge. It was 15-8 at half, and we're second half team, so you knew for whatever reason we knew we were going to come out strong, and those two scores in the third quarter were huge as far as momentum comes, and kids played hard. I think that wasn't an issue all year really, and I kept reminding them how proud of them I was of their effort all year, and just another example of that last Friday night. And we talked a little bit, you guys and myself, and after the game Friday, and I can't say enough good things about this senior group, and there's really never the perfect words to say in those moments, but it was a special moment, and I told them we're going to miss them without a doubt, and thank them for their time.
We talked about that a little bit, just of the 22 seniors on the squad. When you're a coach, I guess you want to win as many games as possible, but there also is the other side where you probably get the big picture. It's not just about the wins or losses. It's also about setting these guys up to be successful in life too, right?
Yeah, we talk a lot about creating habits, and not just as far as football goes, but creating habits of showing up when you're supposed to, doing the things that you're supposed to do, and things like that. Being part of something bigger than yourself. It all ties together, and I think for the most part, a lot of these guys truly understood that, and it paid off, and hopefully the younger guys were learning along the way with them.
I know I've heard you talk so much about goals, and setting goals, or at least having goals or things that you're trying to attain. Early on in my radio career, I was lucky enough to have a manager that, enforced that of setting goals, whether it was sales goals or it was just career goals, that kind of thing. And he said, the thing about goals is that they work so good that people quit doing them. How do you stay consistent, and how do you figure out those goals?
Well, that's the hard part. I mean, you got to set goals right at the beginning, and you got to be constantly shooting for them. And in the end, whether you reach them or not, that's a different story. But if you always keep those goals and that vision you have in your head, that's what keeps you going. If the moment you forget about those and you're out there just kind of going through the motion, then that's when failure happens, and everything else starts to tumble. So just reminding, because it is easy to forget, your goals and what you're out there for, and just reminding them on a daily basis, and the coaching staff as well. It's everybody. We've all got goals, and we've got to be reminded of those on a daily basis, and keep working.
One thing, we talk about goals, we talk about leadership, and definitely Nick Lucas has been a leader on that line, and he was our last player of the game for Des Moines North. But one thing I think Nick epitomizes, had 4.5 tackles that Friday night, but he really epitomized what I think that keep fighting mentality that you had, and I thought maybe the most tremendous job of stopping the run outside of the Gonkaren 55-yard. You knew they were coming downhill, but Nick, along with the rest of your senior group, really bowed up and played quite well.
Yeah, he's had a lot of reps under his belt over the years, and the kid loves the game of football, and he's done an outstanding job of preparing himself to be successful. He's one of the many seniors that we had this year that put in the time on a consistent basis, and we talk about getting what you earn, and he's earned every bit of success that he's had, and a lot of our guys really look up to him.
One of the most impactful, I think, visual moments I saw all season was Friday night, the 22 seniors on the field, and it seemed from the coaching staff intentionally walking off the field to give those seniors time together. What did that moment as you were walking off that field, leaving those 22 guys out there to talk, celebrate together?
You know, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. You know, you create something, you know, pretty special within, you know, that specific group of guys all season long. You know, you spend so much time and you put in so much effort and all that together, and you know, they're all in the same headspace at that moment as well. So just giving them time to do what they've got to do and reflect and all that stuff before you know, before it's done for good, you know.
Yeah. Last question before we take a quick time out here on Bobcat Live from Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown. You know, looking after the game in that huddle, like you mentioned, to see somebody like now Christensen in his uniform out there, not able to play, but in his uniform, you see Jackson Bowie out there as well, who is here tonight with us on Bobcat Live. Just to have those guys be a part of the process, even though they can't maybe contribute on the field. What does that mean? And is that a kind of the epitome of a culture? You know, guys still staying committed despite not being able to play?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a combination of that and the fact that those two are such great friends with you know, the rest of the guys on the team, and they want to go out there and support them whether they're able to or not. And I think it's just an all-around culture of respect and just being there with your buddies. You know, that's really what it comes down to.
Reminding me of last year. Forgetting his name right now, defensive.
Austin Close.
Yeah, Austin Close.
Yep.
I mean, he was there all season even though he couldn't play.
Yep,
so
exactly.
Just says a lot about those kids and the job that they do and the commitment to being a Bobcat. So good stuff. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll continue to talk with head coach Adam Goodvin here on Bobcat Live from Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown.
Marshalltown's best pizza, Zeno's is the place to get delicious homemade pizza from scratch that the whole family will love. For some, it's a family tradition, and Zeno's Pizza is all about old-school family-owned pizza making. Zeno's respects tradition so much that they have had the same thin crust pizza recipe for over 70 years. There are a couple of ways to get your Zeno's Pizza. You can dine in, order online for pickup, or call 641-752-1245. Zeno's Pizza, 109 East Main Street, downtown Marshalltown.
Bobcat Live, Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown. We're going to get intern Zach going during the break here to do his job. Coach?
Do you want to motivate him?
Is that laps?
I just say you motivate him.
He'll have to spin the wheel. You guys don't get it. Yeah,
no.
It's
Enlighten us.
You miss weights, you miss practice, things like that. Then it's
spin the wheel of punishment.
It's a wheel of misfortune. Yes. With a list of bunch of things seniors came up with.
That's Zach's life.
I love
wheel
it.
of misfortune.
We'll show you after.
Back on Bobcat Live from Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown. Thanks for watching on Facebook, Twitter, as well as 1230kfjb.com, as well as on our YouTube channel. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Follow along. Our next broadcast of Bobcat Athletics coming up on November 22nd. We'll have girls basketball on the road at South Tama, and we'll be talking to head coach Brian Murphy coming up later in the program here tonight. All right, back with head coach Adam Goodvin. Coach, you know, kind of to follow up on what we were talking about earlier, but just like the development of the program, the younger guys. We saw a lot of sophomores getting some meaningful playing time. This is a heck of a junior class, in my opinion, that's going to be coming back next year as seniors, led by quarterback Dalen Houston, but a lot of other guys. Rogelio Seren, he was another guy that I saw a lot of development this year. Talk, I guess, a little bit to that development, and were you happy with it?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's you know, when you have a lot of juniors, and a lot of them are at our skilled positions, and you know, getting them out there, getting them a feel of what it's like playing varsity football, and getting them up to speed, and then being able to, you know, see them experience some success out there too. It's huge. You know, for not only confidence but development as well, and you know, I think it goes back to that group of seniors that kind of set the tone and brought them along with them.
And speaking, you said a lot of the juniors are skilled position players, and we definitely notice that. As I look forward to next year, the gap that I see is really just the size of the players. It goes much more skilled position, but it seems the sophomores coming up, Lincoln Barker and Owen Eaton, I both thought as the season progressed, really we called their names a lot more. So where are we going to see that size? Where are we going to see the lines mature?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. It's October 20-something, whatever it is. So we do have a lot of time. I mean, which is a good thing, and we'll see how this offseason goes, and we're going to be, pushing kids to get in the weight room. Just develop yourself as a total athlete, and everything else should take care of itself.
And David Santa Cruz was the leader in that weight room last year. Who do you anticipate possibly being that leader this year?
Well, it might be him up until summer.
Yeah.
Him and Quan Ann have both been in there the first 2 days of off season already this week, so he'll be in there.
Fantastic.
But we're always looking for guys to step up and be leaders in there and bring others with them.
Yeah, as you look, a couple years ago, you had Aiden DeVolder. He's now at MSU Mankato, and some of the other guys on that offensive line. It seems like you always kind of find a mix, and then this year you're going to have to replace all your starting line, including a guy you've been able to have there, like we talked about, Nick Lucas at the starting center position. So the challenge on your part to kind of get guys into the mix and really make them feel comfortable in those new roles, how's that go in the offseason?
It's tough. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, our number one expectation in the off season is make sure you're in the weight room consistently, whether that's with off season weights or in season weights or anything. And we're going to be on you. We're going to check every single week and see if your attendance is good in there, and if not, then we're going to ask why and figure it out. That's the number one priority right now, and it will be for the next 2 to 3 months, and then we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, and you guys ran for over 200 yards a game. Is consistent. It had to feel like a luxury because week 1 you had the same starting offensive line. By week number 9, you luckily didn't really have a whole lot of injuries there on a very pivotal part of your offense.
Yeah, I was going through all-time stats the other day, and I think we broke 4 school records rushing. Rushing touchdowns in a season. I think average yard per rush was up near 7. 2,100 yards rushing. I think that was a school record.
Wow.
Obviously we used to throw the ball all around. And then rushing yards per game, I think it was like 235 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but again, that goes back to the job that offensive line has done and how consistent they've been with everything they do.
And you were able to run the football out of at least 3 to 4 positions as well, which also just makes has to be a really wonderful problem to have, being able to run out of that wide receiver, the wingback, tailback, quarterback.
Yeah, a bunch of different guys are able to carry the football, and like you said, even our receivers, we bring them on jet sweeps, and then you think, the receivers might not be very good, but no, you got to credit them too. They're out there. You brought it up a few weeks ago how well they did blocking, and it's a complete effort all around.
Biggest highlight from the season? Can you pick out one?
Oh man, not one single one. I'd say how we responded the final 4 weeks. That's huge. We talked about how tough that is for 16, 17, 18-year-old kids to be put in such a tough position and being so resilient and able to respond the way that they did was very rewarding.
Yeah, Dalen Houston set a goal of 1,000 rushing and 1,000 passing. He got to 944 passing this year and 666 yards rushing with 17 touchdown rushes. And through the air, 6 touchdown passes accounted for a lot of your offense. I know maybe the goal wasn't 100% met, but had to feel good with the output that was out there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He really showed us a level of toughness that we weren't so sure. We were unsure what we were going to see. We knew he had talent, and but how tough he was and how tough he played on a weekly basis was what we were very proud of. And I don't. 1,000 yards rushing and passing, that's unbelievable. It really is. But again, if you don't have anything you're shooting for, then you're just kind of going out there, going through the motions. So
one thing on Dalen, we see 6'4" athleticism. The athleticism for days, but one thing noticing from last year, his growth over his sophomore year into basketball, his growth over that into this year is How coachable is Dalen? He seems to be an incredibly coachable young man.
I think he's just like everyone else. He continues to get better, being coachable as he's growing and maturing with age and then, just time. I think that's the biggest thing with him, and he's experiencing success, and he wants to get better, and, that kind of makes our job easier and easier the more, he experiences that.
And we were talking about this year. He still seems to be somewhat raw, much more polished than he was his sophomore year. What do you think? I know he loves the hardwood, but what do you think his ceiling could be out on the football field?
I don't know. He's a special athlete. One of the more special athletes that we've had in the school, at everything he does, and we're thankful for that. And but it is our job to continue to push him, and he wants that. So I don't know. That's a very good question. We'll see, hopefully.
Yeah, we were looking out on the field and go, I don't think he's really scratching the surface, especially as a passer, of what he could be.
And the development with him and Trayshawn, we saw last Friday night, a couple of those crossing patterns go for, as soon as Trayshawn's able to maybe get past one guy, he can turn that into a 30, 40, 50-yard reception.
Yeah, absolutely. Another special athlete that we hope continues to just improve every single day.
Obviously, you guys missed out on the playoffs. You finished 21 out of 36 teams in the state. And, I know we already mentioned finishing 5-4, feeling good about that. Did you take a look at the top 16 teams and kind of study the playoffs? I mean, you look at Ames. I think they finished 15th, and they've got to go play Southeast Polk. Which good luck.
Yeah, I looked at the matchups. There's going to be some good ones for sure.
Yeah.
There's a couple lopsided that I think you can already pick a winner, but we wish we were in any of those positions without a doubt. And Davenport West snuck in. They snuck in even with the level of their schedule, but 7 wins, I think it should get you in. But, there's some quality teams right there that got left out, Urbandale included and Waukee and all them. And, we're right there as well. So
it seems like that's the key. Like 7 wins, if your strength of schedule is a little bit lower, that would get you in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, looking at it from our point of view, I think we would have had to have won 7 games as well.
Yeah.
Just because – Valley was 5-4 and not 7-2, 8-1 like normal. And then obviously the 2 schools that didn't win a game. So, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Years past, if we go 6-3, we're in without a doubt. But it is what it is.
You preach a lot of just we can manage what we can manage on Friday night, but is this something where we talk about 7 wins get you into the playoffs? Is this something that you talk with this junior class becoming seniors? Because we know that there was 2 games left on the field that potentially could have gone another way. Is that something you use as a motivating factor for them going into the offseason?
I think so. I mean, it's no secret. They know that as well. We've talked about it a little bit, and we'll bring it up again as well. And we'll do some goal setting with each individual player coming back, and we'll see where we're at, and we'll make sure that they're aware of what our goals are and what's going to get us in and what's going to keep us out. What we think anyway. We can't again.
Yeah.
Depending on what
I know you don't have a crystal.
We don't even know our schedule next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and so that's my next point was going to be redistricting happens every 2 years, and so it's up coming up this in between the years. So I guess what do you envision 5A looking like? Are they going to stay at 36? Is it going to stay as top 16? That kind of thing.
I'd imagine they'll stay at 36. You're going to have to look at enrollment numbers and see if, last
Which
I
you guys,
checked,
Marshalltown is up, right?
Yeah,
in
we'll
enrollment?
be 5A. We'll be 5A. I think Urbandale was that school that was right on the line that could potentially move down, and I think Cedar Rapids, Washington was the one that was going to move up. So if that's going to be the case, that'll be interesting. There's a solid team that typically makes playoffs, every year, so maybe that opens up a spot. I don't know. But, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what groups they put us in and how it all plays out. But, we're definitely looking at some teams to put down on our priority list and see how they could benefit us, whether we win or lose.
Yeah. When you look at non-conference, how will you approach that this year? I mean, I know traditionally you've played Newton and Fort Dodge and Ames, even if they're not in your district.
Yeah, we want to look at some schools where they, look at who they typically play, and hopefully that they can get some wins on their schedule as well. We'd like to try to avoid an 0-9 like Cedar Rapids Jefferson team, for example, because that doesn't help us at all. But at the end of the day, we have no idea.
Yeah. Can you guys put in though for some games?
We have to send in a priority list of schools that we would like to play in our non-group games.
Okay.
And then they take it from there.
Okay.
So
they can say
call
no.
Up some other schools. Hey, yeah, sure. Yep.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Well, enjoy the off season.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. Get some rest.
Yeah, we'll try.
You've been grinding for a couple months here,
so try to get.
You're going to be grinding here for another 18 years, right?
Yeah. New baby around the corner?
Any moment.
Any moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on call.
Well, hey, good luck and enjoy it.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate everything you guys have done for us this fall.
Yeah, thanks for the access to the program and coming on Bobcat Live and committing to the job that we're trying to do and exposing the athletes and getting the recognition they deserve.
Yep,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Head coach Adam Goodvin of your Marshalltown Bobcat football squad. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll talk to Jackson Bowie, a senior on the Marshalltown Bobcat football program. This is Bobcat Live from Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown.
Marshalltown knows competition. We started forging trowels in 1890 and evolved into manufacturing tools for masonry, drywall, concrete, flooring, tile, paint, and more. Today, we're still going strong. Marshalltown strong. As a worldwide leader in manufacturing, we crush the competition. We believe in our community and are proud to support Bobcat Athletics.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines. How can you help Marshalltown High School and enjoy a mouth-watering burger at the same time? By ordering the Bobcat Burger at Legends American Grill. 2 quarter-pound patties with crisp bacon strips, sautéed onions, and melted American cheddar, jack, and Swiss cheeses on top of fresh shredded lettuce on a toasted bun. It's absolutely delicious. $1 from every Bobcat Burger sold is donated by Legends to Marshalltown High School activities. So, enjoy a Bobcat Burger and help MHS. The Bobcat Burger, another exclusive from Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
The equity in your home is power. Power to remodel your home. Take a memorable vacation. Add a deck or patio. Lennox Employees Credit Union can help you unleash the financial power you possess with a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, fund a student loan, or pay for a wedding. Home equity loans are as low as 3.74% for a 5-year fixed-rate loan. The loan process is easy. See Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender, online at LennoxECU.com. Bobcat Live at Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown. We're broadcasting on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, as well as 1230KFJB.com. Great to have you tuned in tonight. And be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And get that YouTube app on the TV so you can make sure you can watch Bobcat Athletics all season long. Yes, Dylan, I know you want a question or something you want to add on
I have
here.
A statement.
I can see you out of my peripheral vision.
If I don't make a big hand gesture, I don't get a talk. So here we are. With the YouTube channel was at
know your role, bro.
That's right, analyst. 199 subscribers on YouTube as of yesterday.
Yeah, let's
see if
break
we can get
200
to
here tonight. So,
anyway, appreciate the support all season long. There's been a tremendous amount of support out for this guy right here sitting to my left, Jackson Bowie, who unfortunately week number 5, it was homecoming against Des Moines Lincoln. I know you were injured early on in that one in the first quarter, rolled up on from behind. I guess we'll just start there. What was that moment like for you? I mean, looking back now.
I mean, when it happened, there wasn't much going through my head.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't like in pain, but I saw my leg and I knew it wasn't good. So
yeah,
that's why I just stayed down there.
That's what a lot of people, it was such an interesting situation. We could tell it was serious just because of the length of time, but everybody that was down on the field and us from up top, you seemed so calm in the moment, but we knew it was serious, and a lot of people just reflected on that you were able to kind of keep your calm and your composure.
I thought it was impressive, Coach Matheson and Des Moines Lincoln. They came over. I don't know if you had a chance to see pictures or video after the game. What does that mean to you to see that?
It's great, the support. I mean, I didn't really think it'd get that much attention.
How's the recovery process been for you?
Very good. I'll be off crutches in a week, so it'll be a month on those, and then just go from there. Some physical therapy.
Yeah, your dad said from the initial thoughts of what it could be to what it ended up being, they were pretty promising, and basically fast-forwarded you a month or two
was supposed
in
to
the
be
recovery.
Like 4 to 6 months, but now it's 2 to 4 around there.
That's crazy. That's great.
I thought it was worse.
Yeah. I'm sure being young also helps, right? You probably heal a little bit quicker. So since that time, I know you have been able to try to get back, and you were able to be there on senior night last week. Just being around your teammates again, how important is that for you?
Yeah, it's really important. I still got to support them as much as I can, even though it's hard sometimes, but I made it to all the games, so.
Yeah. We brought it up with Coach Goodvin, but, Austin Close last year, he suffered an injury before the season started, not able to play a game, but he was still there in support. Do you kind of look back on that and think about the way he approached that, like that was, kind of an admirable thing?
Yeah, because I still want to be a part of the team and just being around my best friends every day.
Yeah. Of course, you ended the season a couple of receptions. You had a touchdown reception, a couple of tackles for loss on that defensive line side of things. As you were watching the season go along, and the Bobcats, which that night when you suffered the injury against Des Moines Lincoln, got the win, and that spawned a 4-game winning streak for the Bobcats to end the season 5-4. What do you think of the guys' effort out there and finishing the season strong like that?
You could definitely tell they wanted it. They wanted the last 4 games, and they did it. So
yeah.
Proud of them.
Yeah, for sure. And always a good feeling when the team ends with a winning record at 5-4. And so what's kind of your assessment of the team going forward next year? A lot of big pieces coming back for the Bobcats.
I think Dalen, Trey, they'll be huge. Some sophomores, Lincoln Barker, I think he'll have a good year.
Yeah.
And then Johan, he'll be on the line too. And then I don't know about the O-line, but everyone's graduating, so.
Yeah. Sounds like Coach Goodvin wasn't quite sure on the O-line either.
Yeah.
To be determined, but, there's plenty of months in between now and next football season. I guess a highlight for you from this season as your senior season, I know you weren't able to be out there for all the games, but it was still – I know you were an instrumental part of what you guys did out there. Looking back, what was your kind of a highlight for you this season?
Just playing overall, just getting out there, playing both ways, played a lot, so it's a good experience, even though it was cut short, but had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things you said, cut short, injury was a little bit less. One of the things we were talking about beforehand is because that has been pushed forward, all your recovery, there is something for you, another sport for you to work towards. Talk a little bit about you going out for basketball and that journey to get to the basketball team this year.
Just having that as a goal is something to really look forward to, and I'm not sure when I'll be back or if I will be, but if it goes as planned, it'll be like Christmas time around there. I'll be able to play maybe.
Yeah.
Does that help you in being motivated to get healthy, having something in front of you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Last year, you guys did a lot of good things. You were an instrumental part coming off the bench for the Bobcats last year in what you guys did, and got the first-round victory against Waterloo East, and then gave a really, really tough test against Cedar Falls. So how excited are you to be able to be a part and watch this basketball team coming up?
I'm excited, yeah. Good schedule, and I think we'll win a lot of games.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to watch.
Have the guys, have you talked a lot about the new conference, the Iowa Alliance Conference?
Not really.
Not really. I didn't know if that was a big thing for you guys, or it just is another thing, as far as the schedule goes. But, it's got all the rivals in it, basically, right?
I'm still playing a lot of the same teams.
Yeah, for sure.
And I asked you here before we got going tonight, we know from the junior class, we know Trey Brooks, we know Dalen Houston. Who is somebody that's coming in that junior class, or maybe a sophomore coming up, that Marshalltown fans are going to learn their name pretty quickly?
Corey Smith and Carter Giannetto. I think they'll get some playing time. Mm-hmm. Or a lot. I'm not sure yet. Season hasn't started, but we'll see.
To be determined, right? Practice and all that good stuff. Hey, Jackson, thanks so much for coming on tonight. It's good to chat with you. We wish you nothing but the best of luck in your recovery.
Thank you.
All right, Jackson Bowie with us on Bobcat Live from Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown. And, we got the fearsome forecast over here with Dylan Doze on basketball season. So we'll talk and get a little preview on our final fall edition of Bobcat Live from Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown right here on KFJB-TV.
Businesses are the backbone of our community. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce reminds you that when you shop locally, you are benefiting members of our community and adding to our local community overall. You'll find local business owners are generally more knowledgeable, provide better service, and even know their customers by name. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce exists to be an advocate for our business community. Membership in the Chamber benefits your business and adds to the strength of our advocacy efforts. For more information on shopping locally and Chamber membership, go to marshalltown.org.
In times of financial uncertainty, how can you stay on track? Call on someone who's invested in your success. Zach Wall, your Marshalltown Edward Jones financial advisor, is here to help you. He will work to build a complete picture of your financial life, including your unique goals and passions, so he can help you achieve what's most important to you. Call Zach Wall at 641-752-3017 to schedule an appointment today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress has your mattress. Every firmness, comfort, and support level, each at a great price. Make the investment today for a good night's sleep for years to come. McGregor's also has quality furniture for every room in your home. Beautiful, comfortable sofas, recliners, dinette sets, and office furniture to help you work and relax in comfort and style. McGregor's Furniture is proud to bring you quality furniture and great service, and they are proud to support Bobcat Athletics. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, open 7 days a week.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Capon & Brown helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Capon & Brown to hear more about how they can help you feel healthier and happier in your home. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call them today at 641-753-3563 or visit them online at caponandbrowninc.com. Your local premier Lennox dealer, where quality has been a promise for 48 years.
Trilogy Embers, independent living for active seniors.
This is your invitation. Hi, this is Lindsay, Director of the Embers Retirement Community, inviting you to tour the Embers. While you are here, I'll show you the studio, 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, and all of our amenities. We will socially distance for your safety, and I'll show and share with you all the Embers has to offer. Call me to schedule a tour at 641-754-7000. Embers Retirement Community, 1211 West State Street in Marshalltown.
Bobcat Live from Zeno's, downtown Marshalltown. Welcome back in, and we're now joined by head basketball coach for the boys squad, Michael Apple. Coach, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm glad to be here and joining the Bobcat show here, and I've watched it about every time. And, so I'm a big fan of the show, and yeah, I'm glad to be here and closer to the basketball season.
Not a fan of the announcers, but the show in
general.
That's
the key point there, No.
there's always good with some bad.
Yeah. Exactly.
Of course, yeah, basketball season right around the corner. Official practices start November 14th for you.
Yep, November 14th. So we've kind of started some open gyms now that football's over, and had some good turnout there, and guys are excited, and you can just see they're, ready for the season to start, and just we weren't really planning to have an open gym today, and some of the guys even text me today and wanted to get in there again today, so that's usually a good sign. So
yeah, for sure.
They're
kind of itching.
Excited,
yeah. What's the off season been like for you? I know you did some stuff in the summer and getting the team ready.
Yeah, so usually the summer's kind of our huge off season point, and we had a good summer and good exposure to some tournaments and things like that, and playing some different teams, and kind of just getting those sophomores that are juniors now kind of ready, getting to know our system, and just getting them to play together. And so it was a good summer for the varsity and some of our lower level grades, and so it's kind of a unique situation in basketball where you have the summertime is your off season, and you have to wait through the fall, and you can't really do much with the team, and then you get them in the winter here, and you're off and running. So
you got a good look of your basketball team though out there on the football field, right? I mean, like half the 3/4 of the basketball team was out for football this year.
Yeah, so all but two really on our varsity played football.
Yeah,
so I mean it was a lot of guys out there, which is good. You got to have your best athletes playing all the sports here for us to be successful. So we encourage that. So you just hope that you don't have injuries. Obviously, like with Jackson, obviously that's a tough thing. But you're not going to ever tell a kid no, don't play a sport. You're always going to try to support that the best you can at the high school level.
Yeah.
And one of the things you get in basketball that's also a little bit different, where in that off season you will have kids a part of different area AAU teams, and then so they're on almost separate programs, and then coming back to play as one. What challenge does that bring to you? But what positives can that bring as well?
The positives, they're playing a lot of ball, obviously, and they're seeing other players, and that kind of motivates them to get better, and they're also playing with really good players, so that just kind of brings their games to another level. They know they have these expectations of what they need to do if they want to be a part of that team. So that's always good. But it has its challenges as far as just kind of scheduling what you want to do. You don't want to make it so they're just overly playing all the time, and just kind of having that balance of you're not trying to just kill them either. So that's just finding a balance in the summer.
And one of the things that has become a little bit more in that playing almost year-round, talked a lot about by the time kids are 18, they've played many more games. A lot of people point to the Chet Holmgren injury as he has played tons of games over and over. Do you see any of that in just energy level with the kids, or does it just seem like, hey, we're 17, 18 years old, we're good?
Yeah, you kind of wonder how that affects them later down the road. I've heard it referenced to like a car having so many miles on it. By the time by the time they get there, they've just played in so many more games than kind of in the past, in the olden days where AAU wasn't quite such a thing. So you kind of worry about that a little bit, but I think for the most part our guys are pretty smart about that, and they're not going too crazy with it. So yeah, it's just finding the balance and really focusing on, the games are the fun part. You still have to put in the work every day, and skill development's the huge aspect in the off season.
As you look at that though too, I mean, like, did you play AAU when you were growing up? I mean, did you play as much as some of these kids are playing though these days?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I didn't. I mean, I was if there was something on the weekends, I was usually going. So, yeah.
And some would say you're on the doorstep of your prime playing years. Here in the next 2 or 3 years is really your sweet spot. This is where you're going to shine. Yeah.
Me personally?
Yeah, you personally. I feel like you got a run in you.
Yeah, I try and still play. But
are you going to play Europe basketball or?
No, I'm far from that. No.
Of course, the season tipping off in about a month for you. You'll get a scrimmage against Iowa City West. I can't remember, it's Saturday the 27th or something like that, I believe.
That seems right. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving is kind of how I always remember.
Yeah, and so that's right around the corner. I'll be here quicker than you know. Last year you guys went 11-2. And I really go back to a couple years ago. You were on the road. You played at Four Corners, first round of the playoffs. You played Des Moines North. You were on the road, and you really gave a heck of a test. And I thought that was a real big turning point in your program. We saw that the next year you guys came out, you competed even more, and then last year you continued to take that step forward and get yourself right around the 500 mark. What's it going to take to kind of continue to keep the forward progression here?
I think it's just consistency and not getting ahead of ourselves. It just comes down to what we do every day in practice. It's just every day is a new day, and we got to approach it of being better and continuing to improve, and pushing ourselves. It's easy to be excited right now, in the season. You're getting ready for the season, but how are we going to be, week 6 and week 7? Are we still going to have that same energy even more? And just trying to create those habits, so that's what we need to do and create a winning culture that way.
Yeah. And it seems as you're starting, as we say now, Brandon, laying the framework where you're going, and now there's a pretty big chapter switch. And one is the all-time leading scorer is no longer on the roster, and I think maybe the best thing Armani Thomas did was every time he was on the court, he thought he was the best player, and he played incredibly well when the best player was on the other side against him. And you are now putting in Trayshawn Brooks into that position, different type of player, as you go into even a different conference. How do you coach and plan when you have a big shift at that point guard position?
Well, I think with this year's group, I think it's just going to be a lot more balanced team. I think we have the unselfishness of any player can score it at any time. We got some shooters that have the ability to spread the floor. We got Dalen, who's just his athletic ability and his confidence has just skyrocketed since last season. He just continues to improve. And then with Trey, I think he has the ability to be a really, really elite point guard in the state of Iowa. So there's just a lot of pieces that we're excited about. And most importantly, it's just the character of these kids. We just really enjoy being around them. I think they really love the game. They work extremely hard at it, and we're excited. And I'm not even talking about a guy that's played that 4 years now, and Drake. So we just got a lot of pieces that we're adding that are with the sophomores that are juniors now, and with these juniors being seniors with that. A year of experience at least under the belt.
Yeah. As you go into this year, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this year 5 for you now? Is this 4 or 5?
This is year 5.
Okay, yep. Year 5 for you. So looking back from when you started 5 years ago to now, where do you think you've grown the most in leading your program?
I think it's just not getting ahead of ourselves. It's like
you can't make it happen
on the day-to-day. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
It's just focus on the kids first and foremost, and then genuinely building those relationships and caring about them, and understanding that we're in this for a season, and we're going to continue to improve every day, and build those relationships of those of just a team atmosphere, and it's a family, and that's what you care about. So. That's the main thing, is just focus on the day by day and caring about the team and everyone that includes.
We talked about some of the guys. Drake Kapayu, just an exceptional defender on the basketball court. It'd be fun to see Trayshawn Brooks leading at point guard, and Dalen, what he does. Saw him, dunking over teammates, I believe, during the summer, that kind of thing. But then another guy that can be one of the most special players in 4A basketball is Prince Jala. When he is healthy, when he's right out there on the court, how's he looking in off season, setting up into this season?
Yeah, so he's been at the open gyms, and he's looked good. So it's just about consistency with him and being there and being a good teammate, and that's with anyone. We try and set that standard of that's how we're going to do things to be a part of the program. So we're looking forward to a big season for Prince, and that's. We're going to try and support him the best way we can in doing that, and I think I think our guys have always tried to do a great job with that as well. So we're excited about it and going forward.
And one thing, last year Jackson Eisenbarth was kind of the kid that came out like, holy cow, he can shoot.
Oh, yeah.
He spent all that time in the gym. Who is that kid that, as you start to see open gyms right now, that you're like, oh my goodness, they are a different player than they were last year?
I think they've all grown a little bit. I've seen just a lot of improvement in a lot of different guys. Jackson's, being one of those guys where he's still a great shooter, but he's, you can just tell how hard he works at it, and he continues to stay with that work ethic, and that's what put him in that situation to have a big season last year. But it's a good core group of guys that continue to work hard and continue to push themselves, and it seems like, they're going to grab somebody if they're going to go to the gym to work on their game. So we got some younger kids that from their 8th grade to 9th grade year, they've gotten a lot better too. So it's not just at the varsity level. You're just seeing throughout the program that kids are the ones that are willing to work at it. You're gonna see a lot of improvement.
New conference, Iowa Alliance Conference, and the schedule doesn't change a ton as far as some of those core opponents. You're still going to play Urbandale this year, but I guess the conference and the new conference, what's your thoughts on the new year and the new schedule?
Yeah, I think it's great for everyone, not just us. I think overall all the teams are excited about it, and it's just good. I mean, it's just from a competitive state, I think it's just a little more balanced, and just from the conversations I've had with other coaches, we're all excited for the change and looking forward to it.
I will say I'll miss a little bit getting the front row seat to some of the best high school basketball that you'll see is from seeing Peyton Sanford or whatnot. But looking into that new conference as we kind of grow, who do you anticipate being kind of that bulldog of a team that I really anticipate Marshalltown being at the top of that conference? Who else do you think might be up there?
Well, you can't disrespect the defending champions and names. I mean, they're going to be up there, obviously. Just a very well-coached team and good program that they've had for a long time. You got a team like Hoover that has another really good coach and good program that have had guys play since their freshman year that are now seniors. They're going to be really tough. They're kind of on the other side of our conference, but they'll be good. Lincoln's always been tough. So there's just some. They'll
make it rain from anywhere.
There's just some teams, we're not trying to get ahead of that right now.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like let's focus on the day to day, and if we can do that and get the most out of our what we can be, it'll work itself out.
And North will always find somebody who can shoot a three.
That's right. Yeah. That's exactly right. They'll fire it up there.
Along with Lincoln firing it at midcourt.
I'm afraid.
The only negative thing I want to talk about here tonight is I don't know who's in charge of putting Fort Dodge, Ottumwa, and Mason City all in 1 week. I'm not looking at you, Ryan, but
I saw that, and I said we got to change that. And I guess we couldn't make it happen. But, hey,
that's all right.
Have to be some road dogs.
Road dogs in the middle of February is not too bad. That'll build you for postseason, right?
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Always good talking about the hardwood.
Yeah.
We're excited for basketball season and looking forward to it, Coach.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me tonight.
Yep.
Hey, our pleasure.
And, of course, we're looking forward to Bobcat Live returning coming up November 30th when we'll talk to Coach again on that. Plus, we've got some games early on in the season, like we mentioned. The scrimmage against Iowa City West will be right here on KFJB-TV. We are not done with the hardwood talk here tonight. We are going to continue with girls basketball. We'll talk to head varsity coach Brian Murphy when we come back. This is Bobcat Live from Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown on KFJB-TV.
Choose Marshalltown Community College for your education.
A quality education.
Hands-on career training.
Convenient on-campus living.
One-on-one attention from my instructors.
Earning my AA degree and transferring to university, all while saving money.
Why was MCC the right choice for me? The great student activities and the friends I met.
2 convenient locations and the option to take online classes.
The right choice is MCC.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
You should never have to wait after ordering new appliances. At Penn's Appliance, you wouldn't. With an incredible selection in stock and ready to install today. Our friendly team is here to help you pick the perfect set to match your style. And let our professional technicians install and set up your new appliances, often delivering the very next day. Stop in today, see all the new features, and find your new look at Penn's Appliance. For sales and service of everything appliance, go see the Pence team.
Since 1967, Jensen Ford Lincoln has served generations of families around central Iowa. Quality vehicles, professional service, knowledge of our product, that's a part of Jensen. But what's more important to us is a trust that is passed down from every generation. Jensen Ford Lincoln wants to serve your family. We want to be there for your first car, we want to be there for your family SUV, and we want to see you drive away in the Mustang you always dreamed of. At Jensen, we want to be here for you now and every mile along the way.
Bobcat live from Zeno's downtown Marshalltown. As we're joined by now girls basketball coach Ryan Murphy. How's the pizza? I saw you guys had a little pizza.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. We finished up our Haunt the Block outing and wrapped it up here. So yeah, it's good. Not a bad way to spend a night.
The kids scored some candy for you.
Of course. Yep. No worries there.
I know you've got shoot around coming up here in just a little bit, so we'll try to get you out of here and make sure you have enough time to get the ladies ready for the season, which you're going to start a little bit earlier than the boys. As the season starts earlier, we've got your first game of the season. You'll be on the road at South Tama on November 22nd, and you'll watch that game right here on KFJB-TV. Looking forward to it, Coach. I know that much like Coach Apple, it's kind of a process. You've kind of continued to build this girls program. How's this offseason been like for you?
It's been good. It's been interesting in the fact that we lost a pretty good senior class as far as not only the numbers but the commitment. So it's been kind of a reset in a lot of ways where anytime you're swapping out a group of seniors for a large group of freshmen, I mean, there's a shift in personality, kind of a shift in what those expectations are. So there's been a lot of changes, and it's always that process of trying to bring them on board and get them to understand what those expectations are early and then hold them to it from the get-go.
We've seen some of the squad. I look at Amaya Moore. She played when she was a freshman. Now she's into her junior season and in her progression. So how's that challenge for you as far as getting maybe playing time for the younger girls, but also continuing to develop them at the same time?
Yeah, it's certainly one of the things we always try to balance is, as we're looking at players that are going to move up, or perhaps, as we're looking at the different combinations of players, we're trying to look at, where are they going to both develop as an individual, but then to what extent are they going to impact our success on the floor. Because we want to make sure we're rewarding girls that are putting us in positions to succeed, but at the same time not inhibiting their ability to grow individually as well. Because sometimes it is just working with the same group of girls where we might keep somebody down that had some of that ability just so they can build a little bit of cohesion as a group so that when they come up, they've got some of that chemistry built in. So looking forward to seeing what some of the underclassmen that played together last year can kind of bring up as we graduate that large group of seniors from last year.
And you talked about that, yes, from a leadership, from a production perspective, you look at Lily Roberts leading the team in scoring. You look at Rachel Smith, who I really thought stepped up on the offensive end as the year went on. And then you look at inside Sophie Yonkin and Paige Wurzberger. These were a lot of that commitment, as you said. And really from the starting perspective, yes, Amaya Moore started a little bit. Sarah Huffman was a mainstay. Who are you looking to kind of lead the ladies from a team perspective, from a peer perspective, through this preseason going into the season?
Yeah, and you hit it right at hand. Those two, Sarah and Amaya, I mean, we've been talking to Sarah even going back to last year about being kind of that vocal leader. And, it can be tough as a sophomore last year, surrounded by seniors, trying to lead by example. And it's something we've been trying to instill early. And certainly Amaya, she had a very successful volleyball season coming off. We want girls to recognize that what they're accomplishing in any sport, and Coach Apple alluded to that, can and should apply to all of the sports. And so we're really looking for those two to step up, not only from a leadership standpoint, but also just kind of getting that expectation built in through what they're doing, what they're saying, kind of that commitment to the program.
And what you look at, Sarah definitely has to put it mildly, a fiery personality, and that is a different leadership's ability than maybe what the seniors brought out. Though great leaders, Sarah Huffman seems to be much more of a verbal and demonstrative leader. How will that kind of change?
One of the things that we have always said about our girls, we've always had really nice players, and sometimes you need a little bit of grit. Right, and so I have no fear about those girls going out and being successful elsewhere because they are very easy to get along with. But sometimes you need somebody that's going to kind of stoke that fire a little bit, and Sarah's certainly one. I think we've got some of that coming up a little bit, where we've got a little bit more of that edginess, a little bit more of that competitive fire. And honestly, I think as I look at the group coming up, I mean, there's a lot of available minutes that have not been claimed. I mean, there's a lot of youth coming up, and we want that fire to be in practice where girls are fighting, they're competing for that playing time, and that should transfer over to once they're on the actual game floor as well.
For some reason, Grant Griesel came into my
mind.
Yeah. He's a guy that on the boys' side of things was always kind of pestering the other team and getting under their skin, because you're right, you need somebody who is going to be, like you say, that bulldog who is going to, because you can get in a lull, and you need somebody to kind of break you out of that and kind of ignite the team. So that's awesome to hear. As you get closer to the season here, what's your timeline here? Because the season starts the 22nd, but what's your timeline between now and then?
Yep. So our first official practice is November 7.
Okay.
So we got a little bit of time left. We've got open gyms. We got one starting here in just a little bit. We try to get some conditioning early just to kind of get that foundation set, and then from there we're kind of off and running. We have our home jamboree week from that. So the Tuesday the 8th. So it's the following Tuesday at home. We've got some scrimmages lined up, so we really try to get some of that game action early so that our first actual game doesn't feel like the first game. We've got some of that game experience, where sometimes the best thing you can do is make a mistake in a scrimmage and kind of learn from that, get it on film and go back and figure out, okay, what led to that mistake, and kind of work our way back so we can try to correct it early.
Yeah, and really the names that, having the opportunity to call your games is, we know Amaya Moore, we know Sarah Huffman, and we got to learn Lainey Danielson in that second semester. Outside of that, it's a bit of a wide open spaces. Is there any names that you can give us here tonight that you think will be important for the Bobcats this year?
Yeah, I mean, certainly Lainey had some opportunities during the year, and that was another one of those ones where, I mean, she, physically she brought a lot of things to the floor, and there was that certain point where, get her a little bit of experience, but at the same time get her some time with some of her own age level players. So Lainey's certainly somebody, we're looking to step up. Aubrey Tejada is another one that, she's got a really nice outside stroke that we're hoping she'll break in and kind of up the aggression a little bit. Ellie Hughes is another one that, she
saw her a little bit.
Yep, exactly. She had kind of a great highlight to end a JV game where she tied up and then eventually won a game, 4-point play at the buzzer. So
was that Newton?
Trying
to remember. I remember that happened.
Ellie Hughes will remember. I promise you that.
Yeah. So certainly we're looking for some of those girls that were dressing for us to kind of step up. And then honestly, we've got a lot of freshmen coming in that have a lot of potential. One of the things I'm excited about, I mean, since I've started, we've been running a 2-post system, not by preference, but by kind of necessity. You line up your best players, and when so many of them are more comfortable back to the basket, you do what you got to do. So one of the things I'm looking forward to from more of an X's and O's standpoint is we can finally spread the floor a little bit. We've got a lot of girls that are comfortable playing outside. We got a lot of girls comfortable flashing into post up and flashing back out. We're a little bit more interchangeable. So hoping to run a little bit more of a system that we would prefer as opposed to the system that we needed to run with the players that we had. And looking forward to bringing in the freshmen to that system where we've got some time to build it up. And we've told them it's probably going to be a learning process. It might be ugly at first because even Sarah and Amaya have been running a different system for 2 years. And so kind of learning that more free-flowing system, I think, is going to be a learning process. But we're excited to get that in place.
The Central Iowa Metro League is grueling for girls basketball. I mean, there's you look at both the Ankeny teams, just how tough they can be, and in Waukee Northwest and Waukee, and I mean, the list goes on and on. So in your mind, how does the Iowa Lions Conference kind of change things up? Still some very good competition, but do you think it kind of evens the playing field a little bit more for you?
Yeah, absolutely. As you're looking toward the new conference, when you start reflecting back a little bit, and this will be my 4th season. So last year we played 14 games against a ranked opponent, and in my 3 years we played over 40 games against ranked opponents. Hard thing is we're building up a program that'll wear you down a little bit, and so that is one of the things I'm most excited about, is getting our girls an opportunity to play against teams where we will be competitive for more of the games and put ourselves in positions to succeed, and whether it's winning or not, just understanding what that looks and feels like. And for some of our freshmen, they get a long time to build up that understanding, and you get a better basketball IQ from playing, what feels like real basketball for an entire game. And the goal would be we build up to the point where we are ready to take on some of those ranked opponents and make it feel more competitive, and eventually take one of them the distance once we're at that point.
And helping establish the winning side. Winning builds confidence, that kind of thing, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Brian, good to see you.
Yeah, you as well. Looking forward to the season.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Just right around the corner, November 22nd is our first game broadcast of Bobcat basketball, and we'll have the girls' game that night on the road at South Tama. Thanks to Brian Murphy, as well as head coach Michael Apple, Adam Goodvin all season long, Jackson Bowie for coming out, and thanks to our crowd here tonight at Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown. Bobcat Live returns on Wednesday, November 30th at 6 o'clock. Then the next night we'll have basketball on that Thursday, and like I mentioned, the next game coming up at South Tama for girls basketball. 7 o'clock is the pregame show. 7:30 is the tip-off, and we hope to have you along. Thanks so much for watching our fall edition of Bobcat Live from Zeno's right here on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and 1230KFJB.com. I'm Brandon Lewis, Dylan Doze. You've been watching Bobcat Live on KFJB-TV.